This is Dr. Kim, licensed clinical psychologist and host of Love to Heal. Today we have a brilliant guest, and I'm so excited that she's here. It's Elham Ellie Jamshidi, and she's a criminal trial attorney. Thank you so much for being here.
Oh, thank you so much for having me, Dr. Kim.
You're amazing. And I found you on TikTok and you're so inspirational. And I feel like people that are listening can definitely be inspired because you do so much, you handle so much stress and you do it with grace and style. And it's pretty impressive to watch. So
Thank you. That's so nice. Thank you.
it's so true. But I wanted to see, how did you grow up? Because that's a very inspirational story.
So my backstory is I was born in Iran, and my parents lived in Iran when there was the monarchy. Monarchy got overthrown. As a result of it being overthrown, a dictatorship followed. My father was wrongfully imprisoned, and as a result of being wrongfully imprisoned, my mother, I had two older brothers, so my mother, the three kids, the day that my father was released from jail, they paid some mountain people, and we fled to the mountains and we moved to Pakistan for a year. And then we moved to Canada as refugees. And when we came to Canada, my mother and my father both worked two jobs in factories. My mother worked in a mushroom farm. My father, worked in a wood factory and as a cleaner. And they raised three children without any assistance from anybody. And throughout my life of growing up, our parents really taught us the importance of hard work, the value of family, and most importantly, the value of time. And I find that a lot of people don't value time.
Yeah, that makes sense. So, how did you become a criminal trial lawyer? Was it that work ethic? What did someone plant that in your mind that that might be an amazing job? How did you find it, and how did you become it?
So I think I knew that I wanted to be a lawyer from when I was very young, maybe 9 years old. And I think a lot of it had to do with my family's journey of my father being wrongfully imprisoned, my father being wrongfully accused of being a spy. I mean, he wasn't a spy. It was due to religious persecution that he was imprisoned. And so I knew that I wanted to be an advocate for human rights. I knew that I wanted to be an advocate for people that are wrongfully accused, or people that are just going against the state, against the government. And as a criminal lawyer, that's my function. I'm there to protect and shield my client against the police, against prosecution from the state.
That's amazing. I have so much admiration for criminal defense attorneys. I think it's absolutely another level for a trial lawyer. So we get referred as psychologists, actual clients, because they've gotten DUIs, obviously, drug charges, and they have dual diagnoses. So that means they have a severe primary mental health issue and substance use, as you know, and they really need treatment rather than jail. So in California, they're doing a pretty good job of that, where it's more rehabilitation, less jail sentencing, but they obviously need a psychologist or a therapist, and that's where I get to work with you guys. But tell me the difference because you had the other level of being a criminal trial lawyer rather than simply a criminal defense attorney. What is the differentiation?
Well, I think that any attorney that goes into criminal law has to have trial experience. I don't think that you can be a good criminal lawyer without doing trials. And I would say that 95% of my practice is trial, it's litigation. And because a lot of it has to do with the allegations, and you want to put the state to the threshold of, well, if you're saying that my client has done this and you want him to go to jail, then the onus is on you to prove that he's guilty beyond a reasonable doubt.
Makes sense. Yeah, you guys need a lot of skills. You need to be creative, you need to be public speakers, you need to be able to have analytical skills, so many skills that go into it. It's like you guys are really, I think you're superheroes.
Oh,
A lot.
thank you. That's so
No, it
nice.
truly is. Like as a psychologist watching your type of work, it's really brilliant. It impacts a lot of people on a level that sometimes we can't do individually. With as far as public speaking, we know that builds confidence, but do you do pep talks? How did you get comfortable with public speaking? Like what was that about? Were you always good
So
at it or
okay, so when I was younger, I always loved theater and drama, and
Mm,
initially, aside from wanting to be a lawyer, I had the dream of one day becoming, an actress and a model. So when I went to high school, I went to Etobicoke School of the Arts, which is a art school, and I majored in drama. And I did that for many years, wanting to be an actress, and I did a lot of theater performances. And for me, doing jury trials or doing trials, that's kind of you go into the courtroom and you're performing. So I think that's where I got that skill from. But I can say this, being a criminal defense attorney, you need to have the skill of public speaking, of thinking quick on your feet, of not being judgmental, and of being fearless. And a lot of times as a criminal trial lawyer, even to this day, and I've been doing this for a long time, is I do get nervous and I do have anxiety, and I can't sleep at night when I'm doing a big trial. And it doesn't mean that I'm not a good criminal defense lawyer. It means that I actually care.
yeah.
And I'm worried about making sure that I put my best foot forward and succeeding. And so to this day, I still get, the anxiety and the butterflies before I go into the courtroom and I do a trial.
Yeah, it makes sense. I think that's good energy. You need that adrenaline to be a good performer, but it's amazing
Yes.
you have that background to it. How do you think people that are feeling like that is intimidating, like that career is intimidating or public speaking is intimidating, like what's your advice to people who feel like things are just too big for them, like it's not attainable?
So, my father always had a saying, and it was, if you can dream it, you can achieve it. And if you in your headspace can say, oh, I want to become a criminal trial lawyer, but there's so many years of schooling and it's just so much work. That is true. You put in the work and you will achieve that dream, but you have to put in the work, and you will get bumped down along the way. That's part of life. And I always tell, I do a lot of speaking at high schools and universities and law schools, and I say, look, if it was easy, everybody would do it. The point is to wean out the strong from the weak, and you cannot be weak to be a lawyer. Period. Uh, you need to be a strong person. You need to be strong-minded. You need to be a hard worker. You need to put in the hours. And one of the things with being a lawyer, you can't be lazy. If you want to succeed, you have to put in the time. There is no shortcuts. There is no easy way out. There is no, there's no Coles notes to being a lawyer. It's 100% hard work and dedication.
That's amazing. And it sounds like it's so far off, but when people are going through breakups or transitions or they've got a hit to their self-esteem or maybe they were bullied, whatever it is, what I see is when they take something on like this, it really habituates them to discipline. It habituates them to getting into different routines. It inspires them because they've got a bigger picture, something to look forward to. And that's why I think it's so important to go for dreams that feel scary and conquer those fears little by little, but it feels so empowering just to do something little toward that. Like someone wants to be an improv, like a comedian, like they need to get in that class even if it feels uncomfortable. But yeah, it's so inspiring, and I wanted people to see like there are real people that can inspire you that really have been through a lot in life and they've overcome it. And on the
Yeah.
other side of it, how does it feel for you? Like how fulfilling is it to be doing this?
I think I'm the luckiest person in the world, and I absolutely love what I do. I love my clients, I love my colleagues, I love the cases that I do. I feel like I'm so blessed that I'm really living my dream. And a lot of people don't understand what criminal lawyers do or what function we have. I've had people say to me, well, you have blood on your hands for getting that guy off if he's, guilty of murder or, importing drugs, just say. And I try to explain to people that my function as a criminal lawyer is to put the state, put the police to their test. And my job is not to judge anybody. I don't judge the charges that my clients are charged with. That's not my function. My function is to look at the evidence, to sit with my client, and to protect them at all cost. I view myself as kind of like, Wonder Woman, where she has the shield and she's protecting, the people. When I walk into the courtroom, I feel like I'm that shield for my client. I'm that armor. And I know that my function is so vital and so important so the criminal justice system can flow the way that it does. The Crown attorneys and prosecutors have a function is to present their case and help, victims of crimes. And my job as well is to ensure that the function, that the system is run properly and fairly for everyone that is part of that system.
Yeah, barring extremely violent crimes, other people that are doing other things that like thefts, um, you know, assaults, maybe it's a stranger, they got into it, the other one provoked it, whatever it is, these little instances can be transitional periods, really major periods. So even if we're getting them a lesser sentence, the point is that they understand there's a consequence. So that just that stress alone of being in that system can be extremely life changing. So regardless if they get a lesser sentence and they actually did something, whatever it is, that is a period, that is an opportunity I've seen for them to actually transition. So I actually do. I see a lot of people with doing evaluations on disability claimants as well. And they, even when they've done something wrong, they actually take that in and they don't want to go back to jail. They don't want to go back to prison. So just like I said, getting caught can be the transitional period. And even more important is all the people that you are getting off that are having serious mental health issues or getting lesser sentences or getting rehabilitation for them. This, almost every therapist and every psychologist I know knows how important it is to defend these people that have been accused of crimes. Extremely important, extremely beneficial, especially in this time.
Well,
So,
absolutely. And what I say is this. So, you talk about the person that commits the most minor offenses, say a theft. Um, what people have to understand is this. This person that, say, goes into a Walmart and steals a Snickers bar, just hypothetically, putting him in the system and putting him in jail is not the solution. One, he's not going to be in jail for the rest of his life. He's going to eventually come back into the community. So if you really want to prevent this from happening, or if you want to make a difference to ensure that this person receives the help that they need to get to the core of why are they doing this, rehabilitation is the answer. Not a jail sentence, not even a conviction, because it's a snowball effect. You have someone that has no history of criminality, in their background, they get convicted for, say, a theft under, and it's something very minor, but they can't cross the border, they can't apply for jobs, they can't get into schools. I mean, it really creates these hindrances for their future, which then impacts society as a whole. So
it
there's
does.
a much bigger picture than just, oh well, he committed the crime, so throw him in jail. It's
Yeah.
not that simple, unfortunately.
It's not, and it affects their identity and affects their self-esteem. And so now what they're telling me is my identity is aligned with being a criminal and I'm less than and I'm subpar. Why now that I have a conviction on my record, am I worthy of going to college? Am I worthy of starting a business? I see it affect their self-worth immensely. And again, with the theft, like some people that actually steal have a history of being sexually assaulted as children. So now they feel like they're owed something. Now, does that
Right.
make it okay? sure not, surely not. But it does mean that they need some therapy. And this is that transitional period for them. And you're the one that's negotiating. Hey, this guy needs a therapist. This guy needs a treatment center. You're the one that goes in there and fights for that. And then we receive them on the other end and get to start
Yes.
that process. Otherwise, we would have never seen them. So the crime is a blessing, and you getting them a different outcome is a blessing.
Oh, absolutely. You couldn't be more accurate. Um, so and I do think that psychologists and criminal lawyers, we do work together to help a person. And I actually have a degree in psychology. I majored in psychology in university, and I think that does really help me as a criminal defense attorney, because I can also see the signs of, like, look, this person doesn't need a conviction or a jail sentence. This person needs help.
Absolutely. I love that you have that background. To transition, you talk about living with intention. What does that mean for people? How can they actually foster living with intention?
And so, that is a saying that my father always taught my brothers and I. And he says, look, every night when you go to bed with a grateful heart. Be thankful for the blessings that you have. Be thankful for whatever blessings that you have. Thank God. Thank how you achieve these blessings. And every morning when you wake up with intention, have goals in mind, and achieve those goals. Today I'm going to accomplish A, B, C, and D. And every morning that I wake up, my first intention is making my bed. And I think that is something so small, but it's something that I've achieved first thing in the morning, which is making my bed. It's a clean space, and then I can start my day by conquering the rest of it. So it doesn't matter, no matter what's going on, my bed has to be made in the morning.
Oh yeah, you're the type. I mean, successful women are amazing because it'll be a Sunday and they'll have intentions for that day. And that could mean the intention is doing self-care, but there's the intention there. They're not just passively waiting for life to happen to them.
Oh
You
no.
are actually setting those intentions and you're getting things done. And getting things done could be sometimes you have to schedule in doing nothing, I imagine. So you actually
No,
do
no,
things done.
absolutely. That's right. Like, today I'm going to do me and watch Netflix and just relax. But
Nice. I love
yeah,
hearing that.
absolutely.
Good. And you need it. But you're doing so
Yes.
much powerful, impactful work, genuinely. I'm so glad that you came on with us. We have to talk again. Where can
Thank you so much. I'm so honored to be part of your show, and thank you for thinking of me. And I do love your TikToks, your podcasts. You are absolutely amazing as well.
You're so sweet, you're so genuine, and I'm really thankful for what you're doing. Where can they find you?
So my Instagram is lawyer.in.heals. So lawyer.in.heals. And my TikTok is the same name, which is lawyer.in.heals.
So find her on IG, TikTok, lawyer.in.heals, and I will talk to you soon.
Thank you so much, Dr. Kim. Thank you.